Yeah, so I'm not sure why that text message did not send, but I'm gonna go ahead and send it to him now. That's weird. It must have been because I was closing out of the dialer. So no worries. So I'm gonna switch over to ListStack and we're gonna text him the information. So let's open it up here. And then I'm gonna start dialing some active leads so you guys can see how I dial active leads. So let's go ahead and text him. I'll stop the drip because I need to adjust that. Let's see. Actually, I'll do that right now just for the sake of training. So let's go adjust that drip really quickly here. So if I was to guess, I would say this is the reason that it's getting blocked. So let's see. Refresh this, and then I'm going to activate that drip again. See if it's successfully sends this to me. Let's activate that drip. We're going to leave this set to default, no. Now I set the auto follow-up. So you can see he did get the voicemail drip. Even though I talked to him, it's always good to still leave a voicemail. You'd rather send more than less. And then what I'm gonna do, since he's interested in Tireman, I'm gonna send him a manual SMS. And you can see that will send right away. The drip takes about a minute to send out. So we'll check that in a second. But here, hey, Mohammed, it was a pleasure speaking with you today. The address is 22516 Tireman, Redford 48239, and I'm asking 35,000 off market. I can add the Arabic tag to this. Like that. So we can filter it later. And since he's a buyer, I'm gonna go ahead and convert him to a buyer as well. So move to buyer. Who owns this buyer? If it was you, you would select your name. In this case, I own the buyer, so I'm gonna go ahead and select yes. So now he has been added as a buyer right here. And all of that communication has been transferred as well. So for some reason, this guy must have some serious carrier protection. Let me see, something's not adding up here. Maybe I need to include flipping Detroit. Let's see. Normally it'll tell me if I need to include flipping Detroit. Right now it's not telling me I need to include it. Let's try that. Let's just give it a second to see if it delivered. Yep. So that's all it was. Wow. See, you learn something new every day, you know? You really do. You learn something new every day. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the socials back because the socials work so well. It adds so much credibility. So let me go ahead and get that social added back in. Let's click on one of these. It's weird though, because some drips go through even without the flipping Detroit added. And then others, the carriers block it like this one. But this is an invalid number. So in this case, I would go and look for the mobile number here. make primary contact. And then I can activate that drip again. But first, let me check me out on it down here. Tag with flipping. Because I registered as a business with all of the phone carriers like T-Mobile, Verizon, I have to include Flipping Detroit into the first message. After that first message, you don't need to include it. All right, so now let me activate this drip again, and it should go through with no issues. So let's stop it. And then we'll activate the drip again. So if I spent like 2-3 hours calling people and I want to go and check what drips successfully sent and which ones didn't, that way I can adjust them at the end of each shift, like I just did here. Switch the landline to the mobile as the primary, that way it successfully sends. Well, that's very easy. It's a very easy thing to do, and I recommend everyone do it at the end of your shift. You go here to all leads, and you go over here to add filter. So let's say I spent an hour. I know I only spent like 30 minutes dialing, but let's say I spent an hour or two dialing. I promise you, not every drip that you activated is going to successfully send. Some of them were landlines. I can guarantee it, just like you saw with me. So I'm gonna go over here to tags, and then I'm gonna select drip. Okay. What this is going to do is it's going to say, sorry, let me hang on. SMS, delivery status. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select tags of Tevin, and then SMS delivery is undelivered. So what this is going to tell me is it's going to tell me all of my drips that I sent out that did not successfully send. So boom, you can see here, I have 4 of my probably 15 people that I dialed that did not successfully receive the drip, and I want them to receive it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to list view, or you can switch to whatever view you want. And I'm gonna click into the first one. Once I have that first one selected, all I need to do is click on this next button right here, and it will bring up each of those in my filter. I don't need to go back to the previous screen. I just gotta click this here and go through each one really quick and adjust it. So let's start at the first one. I can see this one failed because it went against carrier guidelines, probably because I didn't have the Flipping Detroit in there. So we'll just stop the drip real quick. But they always got the voicemail, but you want them to get a text as well. People tend to respond to text just fine. Now we're going to activate the drip again. Set auto follow-up. Now she's good for the next 12 months. And I'm going to go to the next one here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stop the drip. You look at all these drips she's going to get. The last drip is 2026, April 24, 2026. If they're not selling their house to us by then, they're probably never going to sell their house. Okay. That's why I know every month we're going to have people that want to sell their house. This industry, this business has its ups and its downs. But if every single one of us are doing these drip campaigns, all it's going to do is create a compounding effect. So every single day, we should be going through at least 1,000 voicemail drops as a team, as a collective. I mean, Trisha alone probably does 100 of those. All of my offshore people should be doing at least 100 voicemail drops a day. So that means you're converting at least 100 people to a drip campaign. You just saw me do it probably 15 to 20 in a 30-minute period. So there's no reason if I go into dialer, there's no reason that I should see barely any leads converted for your campaign. Let me show you what I mean here. And this goes for my offshores people that are getting paid hourly. So there's no reason that this should barely go up every day. If this barely goes up every day, that tells me you're not converting anything. So this number should be going up. The call's connected, that's different, right? The call has to actually connect. But the leads converted, every single lead that you dial should be converted. So let's go back here. So now, let's say you did that for a full shift. You have to go back at the end of your shift and see which ones did not send and go and fix it because they should send. So in this case, the designation handset you're trying to reach is switched off or otherwise unavailable. So in that case, if I see something like this, I'm not even gonna bother, okay? But just for training purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the drip. But I can tell you that probably won't go through anyways. I'm looking for the ones that failed to send because it was a landline number or failed to send because it went against carrier guidelines. So let's set the auto, and then let's go to the last one here. Boom. So now I'm gonna go ahead and stop this drip as well. Just like that. Boom. Now I'm gonna go ahead and activate the drip, just like that. I like primetime drip. Everyone should be using primetime drip because it includes that voicemail drop. Okay, boom. Just like that. Okay, so this got flagged because it went against carrier guidelines. So now let's just go back to some of these ones in the beginning that I did prior and take a look here. So it still went against carrier guidelines. So it very well might be that this is causing the issue, which is pretty annoying. I'll be honest, because I like that. But it's weird because it doesn't seem to cause issues every single time. But I like things to hit every single time. So we're gonna do, if it means we got to remove that just for the sake of what we're trying to accomplish here, then so be it. We'll do that. It's kind of crappy, but we can always send that as a follow-up message. So just for training purposes, let's see if that is what's causing it. Thought it was just the flipping Detroit, but maybe that's not the case. So let's go there. Let's go ahead and reactivate this drip. And if this goes through, then we all know that was the issue. And then we'll have to think of a different option on sending that social media. We'll just do that as a manual text if that turns out to be what's flagging it. All right, so while that drip sends out, I'm gonna go here to active leads and we're gonna make some active leads dials. I'm gonna set some filters on the active leads because I don't wanna call every single type of active lead. I have very specific filters when I dial active leads. So let's go to active leads under leads. We're gonna go over here to filters, add filter. And the first thing I like to do is I like to make sure that SMS. So total incoming SMS. I also like total touches. Total incoming touches. That'll tell me if they're reaching out to us or not. If I also wanted to do property type, say I only want to reach out to single family homes. And then if I wanted to do zip codes, I could add zips. Let's see what other filters. This is where our, what the hell? I must have clicked back by accident on my keyboard. So where RE simply thrives is on the filtering. So we're going to go back here to filters. We're going to choose property zips. Going to go total touches. So what this is telling me is how many people have actually texted us or called us. Those are the only people I really want to talk to. Let's go back here. So we got property zips, total incoming touches. Let's see, property type. So I could call specific types of properties. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just quickly looking through these filters, seeing if there's anything that I really want to. SMS delivery status for sure. I only want things that the text successfully sent. Let's see. Okay, so that's good. That's good for now. So let's go over here to property zip. I'm going to say only show me ones in the 48219. And then let's go to property type. I only want single family residential. So let's choose all the singles. So there should be 3. Let's go ahead and choose them. SMS delivery status is delivered. And then total incoming touches, I want more than 0. Okay, so 1 or more. Cool with that. Joshua, he's saying the property over on Wisconsin, he's saying he never got an email from title, but I know for a fact he did because I saw the email from title. You can see they sent him an email right here. SMS. Oh, looks like they put the wrong email in there.
There you go.
And I sent them the wrong email. I think it's Ray North End. Sorry, his. Let me just confirm that. Remember his name? Is he in here as a lead? All right, just confirm with him for me that that's his email, and then I'll send it out.
All right, I will do. I just had to jump in the car for a minute. I'll check when I get back to the desk. I'll do it.
You're good. You're good. So let's see if this one's set out now. Oh yeah, and I put flipping Detroit there. It could be the word buying is triggering it. So I'll play around with this. I still want y'all to do prime time. I'm gonna reach out to support and see what word in here is flagging it because it's not adding up to me why it's getting flagged. So act like it's sending. So we're gonna go back to these filters here. Total incoming touches more than 0. We're gonna go ahead and apply this filter. So now it should take those 8,000 plus leads and give me a small amount here. So now I'm working with 43 leads out of those 8,000 active leads, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and select all of these by clicking select all right here. Select action, go ahead and add to dialer. So now all of these are nice and neat for me to do some follow-up calls. So I can look at activity log, I can see, oh wow, we've talked to her quite a bit, okay? So if you want to look at history, this is where you're going to find the most opportunities. If you're in Detroit, if you're a savvy person, if you're a realtor, if you're somebody that just wants to talk to some people that we've already talked to, this is where you're going to want to be. You're going to want to come in from a voice of authority because the reason it hasn't sold yet is that we didn't get it for the right price. So if you're like Irving, where you know some of us have Irving call our sellers to get a price decrease, Irving's pretty good at that. Sometimes all it takes is a second voice. Sometimes even a third voice is all it takes. But getting that price decrease will get a lot more houses sold. So in this case, I can see that we've been talking to her for a while.